Number 4 on the practice exam. The government report says that a 90% confidence interval for the mean income of American households is 59,067. That's the X bar, plus or minus 356. This is the margin of error. This is based on a random sample of 60,000 households. If the same sample results had come from a sample of 15,000 households, the new margin of error would be... Okay, so this question's slightly more complicated than what you're used to doing from the homework. It requires a little bit more effort and time and skill. But let's write down, well, we have this part right here. So the margin of error is 356, and we get 356 by multiplying z star, which at 90% is, let's take it out, check it out. At 90% it's 1.645, and sigma is unknown. So that's the unknown part that we're gonna have to solve for. But we do know that this margin of error is based off of 60,000 households. Okay, so that's the first part. We're gonna have to solve for sigma. So you're gonna have to use your algebra skills to solve for this question. So let's take a look at that. 356 is equal to 1.645 times sigma all over the square root of 60,000. All right. To solve for sigma, I'm going to have to isolate sigma, and I do that by multiplying both sides with 60,000, the square root of 60,000. All right, and I'm going to do that to this side too, square root of 60,000. This cancels out the denominator by multiplying that. So we got square root of 60,000 times 356 is equal to 1.645 sigma times sigma. And then to continue to isolate sigma, I'll divide both sides by 1.645. All right, 1.645. And that cancels that out, right? So let's take out our calculator and find out what sigma is by working this whole thing out right here. So if I take out my calculator, I'll go square root of 60,000 to 3 times 356 divided by 1.645. Let me just verify that at 90% it is 1.645. Yep. So 1.645. So oh yeah, huge. 53,010 is our standard deviation. Right, so 53,010 is our sigma part. Let me write that down for us. 53,000. Sorry. 10.23. Okay, now we're not finished. Now that we solved for sigma, the rest of the question is asking what is the new margin of error if it's 15,000 households. So let's just plug in all the information that we do have now. We know that Z star is still 90%, so it's still 1.645 times the sigma is 53,010.23, and then everything divided by the square root of 15,000, and this will give us our new margin of error. Right? 711. Now we round that up to 712. So that's how you solve for number 4.